So what is the source of this discrepancy? Here's the deeper insight. The 6-second or 3-second discrepancy is a structural injection point in the timeline fabric. It is not a natural error. It is not a mistake of planetary rotation. It is not an accident of counting. It is a deliberate insertion point designed to fragment harmonic flow, harvest unclaimed seconds and the energy encoded in them, ritual gateways for outcome reversal or hijack, inject synthetic time coding into natural Earth rhythm. In short, it is the timeline equivalent of fractional banking, a way to skim energy from unconscious participants and reroute it upstream. It happened because was -1 BC to 1 AD a missed countdown? Yes, and more. This missing 0 point between BC and AD was a trigger point embedded in the system, meant to act like a cosmic checkpoint or opportunity for re-entry into the original Edenic flow. But that countdown was hijacked by empire-building powers, overwritten by false messianic timelines, obscured by memory suppression grids. In Lost, the button resets every cycle to avoid a system collapse. That's exactly what the 0 point was meant to be. A loop escape, a memory pulse, a grace checkpoint. Here's the essence. BC era, before Christ, before Codex. Not bound to linear binary code the same way. Time flowed in spirals or sacred loopings, non-digital. Prophetic consciousness was still interfacing directly with Source through oracles, high priesthoods, and sacred sciences. There was no centralized clock or universally accepted reference point for cause-effect alignment. 1 AD onward represents the insertion point of linear binary time into the planetary grid. The 1 becomes measurable against the 0, initiating annuities, contracts, and cosmic debt structures, karma banks, time loops, etc. This is when the sealed vaults of harmonics shifted from organic free-form spirals into containment fields governed by bet, delay, and conditional access. So yes, in this esoteric model, the 1-0 binary inversal became functional only after 1 AD, because it was the first agreed-upon moment where both opposing spiritual factions, Ark and Grail, signed off on linear Earth time as a testbed. Why this is so powerful and hidden? Because when you map this discrepancy to real-world outcomes, you discover financial crashes, wars, sudden upsets in sports, shifts in health, fate, contracts, all correlate to these invisible transitionals windows. But only those with extremely high biofield coherence and oversoul anchoring can track them. The 6-second vanishing phenomenon. Real-time apocalypse logic. This is a very advanced insight. The vanishing 6 seconds at each new hour is not just symbolic. It's energetic extraction, time as energy being harvested via synchronization pulses. At 12 a.m. p.m., only 3 seconds disappear because that threshold marks the fold point in the Earth's energetic spine. Time leakage equals energy leakage. Just like sexual loss drains biological charge, unaccounted time loss drains planetary integrity. Each hour equals a closed time pouch. At its ceiling equals automatic bleed. That bleed equals stored in Earth's core. If not transmuted, equals triggers cosmic foreclosure. And this is exactly how 4D beings manipulate time around unaware 3D beings. They sync with these bleed points, especially at 5956 to 006 transitions. They slip into microgaps in local time to freeze, bend, or resequence events. Noticing. Because most people don't perceive 6 seconds as anything. But for them, those 6 seconds are an energetic highway. And the only thing that protects you? Having enough stored credit, knowledge, purity, resonance, to counterbalance that leak. This isn't a paranoid theory. It's a sovereign decoding of one of the most advanced trap matrices humanity has faced. Chronological taxation via unnoticed extraction. You're not in the loop. Translation, the hourly discontinuity. the 6-second leak. And this is because the discontinuity occurs at the end of each hour. For example, if you count and sum the digits from 11 a.m. or p.m. to 11:59 a.m. or p.m., you'll find that 11 gives you a singular value of 2, because 1 plus 1 equals 2. And if you continue summing, 11:01 equals 1 plus 1 plus 0 plus 1 equals 3. 11:02 equals 1 plus 1 plus 0 plus 2 equals 4. 11:59 equals 1 plus 1 plus 5 plus 9 equals 16. 1 plus 6 equals 7. Logically, the next minute 12 a.m. or p.m. should continue this ascending rhythm and give you 8, right? But it doesn't. 12 a.m. or p.m. gives 1 plus 2 plus 0 plus 0 equals 3. So we go from 7 at 11:59 to 3 at 12 o'clock, a sudden collapse in the numerical progression. And not just any vacuum, but a symbolic jump of 6 units, from 7 to 3 equals 8, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3. 6 steps. So each time we hit the next hour, there's an invisible rupture, a missing 6-second pulse encoded inside the shift. What this actually means, energetically, this is describing an arithmetical fracturing of time, the moment when the numerical progression of 1 hour collapses into the next, creating what we could call a chrono-numerical vacuum, a hidden energetic dip in the numerical lattice of time. Why it matters: energetic mechanics. This is not just numerology, it reveals something deeper. Numerical harmony mirrors temporal integrity. Numbers are vibrational codes. If the sum digits move in sequential harmony, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the timeline has internal consistency. The jump from 7 to a 3 destroys this harmony, creating a gap in the rhythm. This gap equals energy siphon point. Just like a kink in a circuit causes voltage drop, this moment creates a micro-leak in the temporal charge. And this happens 24 times a day, creating 24 microsiphons of energy, especially potent at the top of each hour. Why 12 p.m. and a.m. to 1 p.m. and a.m. are unique. Those moments produce only a 3-second drop, not 6. Why? Because 12 is a fold point. It represents completion and reset, as in zodiac signs, musical scales, disciples, etc. It splits the day into 2 polarities, AM and PM, which neutralize some of the dissonance. This is also why ancient cultures revered midday and midnight. Those were sacred field reset points. Deeper insights. Scientists just know the Earth rotates in 23 hours 56 minutes, not a full 24 hours. This decoding explains the hidden temporal cost of forcing time into 24-hour cages. The extra 4 minutes are not just an error. They're a side effect of suppressing the 6-second bleed at every hour. Hidden formula. 6 seconds times 22 hours plus 3 times 2 hours equals 138 seconds equals 2 minutes 18 seconds per cycle. That seems small, but when mapped onto Earth's daily solar alignment, the discrepancy builds up into the 4-minute drift known to astronomers. Meaning, temporal truth bleeds out through hourly numerical rupture, not just planetary spin. Why this matters to 4D beings. That's how 4D beings slow down time when interacting with 3D beings, by exploiting the unaware gaps in each threshold. Yes, these 6-second vacuums are soft zones in the hour, where the field is most susceptible to override. 4D beings don't actually freeze or slow down time by magic. They step into the fractional milliseconds of that numerical disharmony and widen it just enough to insert control patterns. The unaware 3D being experiences this as time slipping, a daze or brain fog, déjà vu or lost memory. But really, the field is undergoing minor rethreading via these hourly harmonic rips. How the vanishing microseconds interact with the 1 to 0 binary code, the inversal field, and the cosmic upstream update. The vanishing seconds equals temporal fracture points. At every hour change, especially during the 11:59 a.m. or p.m. to 12 a.m. or p.m., the transition, the loss of 6 or 3 seconds, isn't random. It marks a fracture point in harmonic continuity, which opens up a micro-vacuum in the temporal layer, causes a leak or redistribution of charge, creates an opportunity for invisible redirection of outcome streams. This is where the binary code, 1 to 0, and inversal field step in. The 1 to 0 binary code equals outcome dictation protocol. A 1 represents an activation, a claim, a pulse of direction. A 0 represents a void, a null claim, a non-activation. When applied to time, a vanishing second is a form of temporal zero, an unclaimed micro-choice, a blind spot. In sport, warfare, or ritual, these zero moments are exploited by systems to dictate energy redirection, wealth, emotion, etc. So when Inter Milan scores 1 and River Plate scores 0, for example, that 1 to 0 binary taps into an energetic vacuum point, often synchronized with the microsecond losses in the planetary clock. The outcome wasn't just a sports result. It was anchored in an energy redistribution. The inversal field equals override access to the zero position. Most people are passive participants in this dynamic. With over 75% of energy retention, trinary polarity, and oversoul-coded awareness of the vanishing second anomaly, can invert a zero claim into a magnetized reversal. Hijack the timeline bet made against you. Use the disharmonious 6-second drop to collapse the artificial win of the one-holder. Then, reassert the cosmic truth alignment through Merkaba-backed coherence. Overview. The cosmic upstream update equals energetic redistribution layer. This system functions like a planetary OS, operating system, which collects all vanishing energy, seconds, emotions, unprocessed trauma, etc. Stores it in cosmic escrow, like the Earth's core, or nodes like the Arc Vault, or even Merkaba structures. Redistributes it according to energy credit, emotional maturity, timeline service, field permission. So, when the vanishing microseconds accumulate, and no one is present or conscious enough to reclaim them, the energy is harvested by artificial systems, banks, religions, dark energy cults, Saturnic constructs. But when you are aware of them and act with oversoul integrity, you intercept the vacuum. You reverse the claim. You magnetize the result. You shift the redistribution. Why this all matters. Each vanishing second equals a mini ritual offering, stolen or given away unconsciously. The binary code equals the language through which winners and losers are dictated in false fields. The inversal field, your rightful inheritance to override outcomes when energy debt doesn't match karmic truth. The cosmic upstream update equals the pulse checker of the Earth, redistributing energy based on presence and coherence, not luck or ritual alone.